The debut trailer for Stray instantly caught my eye, and it's easy to see why. How could you not be compelled by a game where you play as a cat? The concept intrigued me as much as anyone, but for some reason, once the game released, I grew skeptical of it. I began subscribing to the narrative that the game may just be a novelty, a party trick used to show off a virtual feline. I still purchased Stray, but it slipped into my backlog as my cynicism grew. The game just didn't seem that special. Well, I finally completed Stray, and I was very, very wrong. If all you know about Stray is that you play as a cat, then buckle up. You do indeed take command of the unfortunate furball, who has just barely survived a massive fall into uncharted territory. Thankfully, the cat isn't seriously harmed and is able to begin exploring what appears to be some kind of abandoned, underground city. As you tread into the unknown depths, Stray's remarkable movement system quickly makes its presence known. As you'd hope, playing as a cat feels incredibly lifelike, with each jump and step carrying just the right amount of weight. B12 Studio, Stray's developer, surely spent countless hours perfecting each animation, and it pays off hugely. You'll soon be charged with jumping up and down various objects and structures, as well as walking across narrow beams aplenty, all tasks well within the wheelhouse. It may look as though this navigation requires precision, but Stray opts to put most of it on autopilot. There seems to be no way to fall, no matter how high you are, so you don't need to worry about any precision platforming. Think Uncharted or Tomb Raider, not Mario or Meat Boy. You won't explore long before discovering signs of life. Early on, you encounter a small, robotic buddy that offers to tag along for the journey. This friendly companion can shed light on dark areas and acts as an inventory for discovered items. Thankfully, it can also translate, as shortly after making its acquaintance, our purring protagonist stumbles upon the denizens of this mysterious underworld. A colony of bipedal robots has made its home underground, which thankfully takes kindly to cats. Upon meeting this new race of creatures, you'll gain access to a larger hub area to explore. It's during this section of the game that Stray begins to reveal its general gameplay loop. At its core, Stray is an adventure game, with particular emphasis placed on exploration and some light puzzle solving. There are sections of the game more linear in nature, but it also cracks open on occasion, tasking you with assisting some of the game's NPCs in order to progress. The various robots you interact with are extremely well written and likable almost immediately. Their inherent amicability to a cat is endearing, but they're also easy to identify with, as many of them want to escape. The robots are just as trapped as you, privy only to stories and pictures of what may lie above ground. The primary narrative thrust of the game involves working with your newfound companions to find a return to life on the surface. It's a simple premise that remains engaging for the entirety of the 6 to 8 hour experience. If the mention of puzzle solving puts you on edge, fear not. All of the conundrums are fairly simplistic, often simply involving tracking down an item for a character in need. The more direct puzzles strike a perfect difficulty, never once compelling me to look up the answer due to impatience. Even more impressive is how they incorporate the common behaviors of being a cat. In general, Stray does an excellent job of incorporating a cat's natural moveset into progression. You may need to push an item off of a high shelf or scratch at a curtain to reveal a new path forward. Even general platforming looks and feels impressively lifelike. You could even stop at any container of water for a quick drink. Say what you want about Stray, but there's simply no denying that it absolutely nails being a cat. Stray can lull you into a false sense of security with its wholesome vibe, but not all areas of the game are so welcoming. Unfortunately for everyone, there's a hostile breed of enemies on the prowl, with a ravenous appetite for metal and fur alike. The Zerk, as they're known, are small enemies that travel in packs, apt to give chase whenever they're approached. At specific points of the journey, you'll have to outrun the Zerk before they turn you into their next meal. These sections are typically simplistic chase scenes, but there are also some puzzle-oriented moments, more cerebral in nature. Stray can be a meditative experience, so these sections of more pronounced danger are a welcome change of pace that help to break up the slower nature of exploration. Pace is a component that Stray executes seemingly effortlessly. It throws together its various ingredients: platforming, puzzle solving, action, exploration in near perfect measure. Just as you begin to grow a bit fatigued of traversing a gauntlet of beams and platforms, a horde of Zerg forces you into a sprint. It's easy to overlook strong pacing in a game because it's inherently more noticeable when done poorly, but I imagine this is one of the most challenging facets of game design. Stray is a masterclass of the discipline. All of Stray's various parts add up to create a consistently engaging whole, but there's one element that puts it over the edge. The world of Stray is, without question, one of the most unforgettable I've experienced in years. This strange land begs to be explored with its vibrant colors and bustling buildings. The decrepit, quiet spaces, however, are just as alluring, with every inch of the game feeling lived in and believable. The amount of love poured into every last detail is painfully clear. Video games, more than perhaps any other medium, possess the capacity for near infinite wonder. Little compares to the autonomy of seeing what lies around that next corner. Many games are so quick to provide the player with waypoints and maps, but Stray trusts its world to give the player what they need. I audibly uttered the word wow more often while playing this game than just about anything else I've experienced in 2023. The immersion that Stray provides is undoubtedly assisted greatly by its graphical fidelity. This component of a game is often ranked on the low end of importance, but Stray proves that better graphics can make a better game. Each and every texture is remarkably sharp and detailed, and the ray tracing lends the lighting a stunning effect. Equally as strong as Stray's technical prowess is its art direction. Each and every component is bursting with detail and personality, from the environment to its inhabitants. I'd be remiss not to mention the game's soundtrack, which calls upon futuristic instrumentation to create a wondrous, entrancing atmosphere. Of course, without solid mechanics, a game will struggle to find quality, but Stray shows just how much presentation can take a great foundation to the next level. Every once in a while, a video game truly subverts my expectations. Stray is one of those games. As I rack my brain for criticisms, I struggle to conjure up a single one. If anything, I just wish it were longer. Stray is a game that fully rejuvenates my enthusiasm for this medium. I'm generally optimistic about the state of video games, but playing something like this is a reminder that we're in a golden era. Even more incredible is that this is the first game from Blue 12 Studio. Each and every member of the team deserves the utmost praise, and I cannot wait to see what they do next. Stray is gripping, immersive, it's awe-inspiring, it's fun. Stray is special.